So Adrian, empathy. Boy, we've heard a lot of talk about that. And wasn't it interesting the perspective that Chris brought to leading with empathy, creating these empathetic workplaces? I'm curious as to what some of your big takeaways were.
There's a lot. We're going to have to unpack this for a little bit because, how many times have we used the term drive productivity? What a horrible term. It's like, the guy bouncing the drum at the beginning of the ship, row, row, and we've thought of it that way. And she's exactly right that the more human our workplace, the more engaged people would be. We know that. And yet we still drop terms like this. So, leaders have to move from the person who has all the answers to the person who says, let's figure it out together. Much more human way to lead.
Yeah, and the collaboration piece that it's let's find out the answer together, and that when you do that, your people are more invested in the answer, which I thought was great. There's ownership there. One of my big takeaways, of course, around anxiety, is just provide as much education as you can. Learn together about AI, for example, the new technologies, and I really appreciated the way she put it in perspective. She said, this is not the first time that technology has disrupted the workplace. And in every case, it's been a lift. She says, I appreciate that, we've got engines that carry heavy things and, spreadsheets instead of the abacus, which I know, Adrian, you are so connected to your abacus. That must have been very
I'm a
traumatic
big
for you.
I majored in abacus back back in college. So yeah, yeah. The what I like too that she's saying, because sometimes we go, because you and I we go out and we give talks on culture. We talk about and sometimes there's people sitting in there. Okay, why do I care about empathy and this, that, and the other? And I just like what she said. Look, when people are freed from stress, they can be highly productive. And sometimes we say, oh, they just can't cut it here at XYZ
Right.
company. We run hard. We're hard charging. And, you're cutting off a huge portion of the workforce that may need to work in a very different way. And that those people can be incredibly productive for you if we invest a little time and effort in learning these techniques.
Yeah, I love the way she said, look, empathy isn't just being nice. Oh, I've got to care. I've
Yeah.
got to be nice. Empathy is understanding, where people come from. How do we work around these? The expression she used that I really stuck with me was, "We've got complex people coming
The
into the
mess.
workplace, yeah, to do complex things, and we've got to just realize
Yeah.
that we're going to have to work around sick kids. We're going to have to be open and honest. And you're right, open to the mess, which is all of us.
Yeah.
Face it, I'm a mess. You're a mess. You're a little bit bigger mess than I am. I think we can agree on that. Uh,
I'm quite a big mess. Yeah. Yeah.
everybody's a
Yeah.
mess. Work around it. I love
Yeah.
that. It just really stuck with me.
Well, and also working together. So then you asked that question around that idea of collaborating versus competing. And how many times, even just a few years ago, did we see that, a company would, we're pitting Pittsburgh against Cleveland, and who's going to come out on top? It's like, you're not competing with each other. You're competing with your competitors.
Right.
You're not competing internally. And how hard is that message for so many leaders to get across? And so she's saying, look, that's not helping people. Let's work together. Let's and the word that we're hearing more of is co-create
Right.
instead of collaborate, right? That's a higher kind of level.
Yeah. And personal rituals. I loved it when she said, "Be empathetic to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Put down the measuring stick." Gosh,
Yeah.
with all the stuff that we get every day, whether it's your news feed or your Facebook feed or Instagram, we're constantly measuring ourselves against everybody else and say, I am enough. I am enough. I mean, I was at a hockey game last night, and I'm amazed at how competitive people are in the stands to see how many times they can get on the jumbotron. I'm like, it doesn't matter. We're here for the game, Let's just watch the game.
That is not going to change your life. Yeah, to be on the jumbotron.
I was on the jumbotron
That's
four
good.
times. They go, great, good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Put down the measuring stick. We all are too
That's
competitive.
funny.
in those silly
In a
ways.
minor, I don't know if they call it minor league hockey game. Yeah, I was on the Jumbotron 4 times. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, so my last thought too was, and she's exactly right. Chris was saying we're in this collective state of grief. I haven't thought about it that way, but you're right. We've all lost, whether we've lost some freedoms. We went on vacation to our favorite place, and it was just different than last summer than it was before. And it was this kind of grief. What happened? We've all lost people. We've all lost, loved ones. We've lost some ways of working, etc. That we need to give ourselves a break, that we're not alone. We've all faced this. And, to give ourselves a little beat here and realize that, be kind to ourselves.
Yes, because you're not alone. Be kind to yourself. You're not alone. Self-recognition fuels your ability to connect. I just thought that was a beautiful way to end the conversation. And of course, we always want to give special recognition and thanks to our wonderful team, our producer, Brent Klein, who puts together the podcast that hopefully you will listen to it and send to your friends to listen to it. And Christy Lawrence, who helps us find these amazing guests. And of course, to all of you that tune in and listen. If you like the podcast, please share it with your friends and family. We'd love you to visit our website, thecultureworks.com, for some free resources that help you and your team and your culture thrive and survive and make it through this mess, right?
And we love speaking to audiences around the world, virtually or in person, on the topics of culture, teamwork, and resilience. Chester loves it, so he'll come to your house if you want him to. He'll even stay for a week. So, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about your event and, what we can do to help you build a great culture where you work.
So have a great week. We hope that you'll tune in again soon and take care of yourself. You are good enough and you are not alone. Take care. Cheers.